Well, this thing's live.
You're live on the internet.
YouTube changed their live streaming thing.
Of course they did.
So I'm not really sure where all the old settings are. It didn't give me an option to use OBS. Logging into Patreon. It's making me do that thing where I have to click all the street signs.
That's how you know she's a robot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
We need to verify this stuff. It's not like I've never logged into Patreon on this computer before. Oh, Charlie says I could just link it to her. That's easier. Okay. So that will, in theory, push the post live. But how do I get the chat? Valerie just put all of her M&Ms in the hanging thing.
Nice.
Okay, Charlie says that the link has been posted. Maybe we'll see some peeps show up. What time did you get up?
11.
How do I? Can you go?
Just do garage sale.
Find anything good?
No. Nothing. No here. It's very uneventful morning.
Dope.
I'm guessing you were just asleep. Okay.
I woke up at about 1:30ish.
Not too bad.
I don't see anyone in the chat yet.
Let's see if this is. No, we're live, it says.
Oh.
Hi guys.
Okay.
There's no one there. Oh, there's people there.
Oh, there's 7 people.
Hello,
Hi.
Tom Robertson. Hello, Cade Burris Cook.
Your phone only has 10 bands.
I know. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
I guess it's good afternoon now here. Unless you're in Australia, then it's morning time there probably.
Michael Morgan.
Hello, Michael Morgan. Hello, Don Lal.
Probably should not be watching this while you're trying to do it. It's gonna ruin everything.
Hi, kitty. There's a kitty here.
Well, I slept in very late today. I've only been awake for less than an hour.
To be fair, though, you didn't go to bed till like 8?
The sun was up before I fell asleep, for sure. Yeah. I don't even remember what we talked about last time we were together, so I don't remember what's happened since.
Can I give an update?
Todd would like to give an update.
So this is it's nothing to do with Cinema Studios. It just has to do with me. But my new glasses are arriving on Monday.
Oh.
Got 2 new pairs and a pair of sunglasses. All prescription, all cheap.
Is this that same service that you used last time?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Zenny?
Zenny.
Mm-hmm. So it said it would take up to 10 days to ship, and it's been like 5 literally. Yeah.
Hello, Karin Sir. For everyone in the chat, I recently learned that Karin Sir pronounces Karin Sir instead of Karen Sir, how I've been saying it for a long time. Yep. I am surprised not to see agave.
Agave.
Don't we normally see agave?
Did you know agave is a type of sugar?
I did know that.
Well, where should we start?
What was last month?
Like what month was last month?
Yeah, what was even
June.
What even happened?
Had we gone to VidCon yet?
That was VidCon month.
Or did we do this thing before VidCon? We didn't do a live stream in California, so it must have been before VidCon.
Did we do one in California?
No.
So we went to VidCon. We have done a lot of talking about VidCon since VidCon because the event itself has changed quite a bit in the 9 years that it's been going on. And from a business standpoint, we've been trying to figure out if, hello Ninja Nerd, if going to VidCon and having a booth is a thing that makes sense for the company. And I think right now we are of the opinion that it doesn't really. This is a thing that I said in one of the post-VidCon vlogs that obviously hasn't gone live yet. But I feel a little bit weird talking about VidCon in anything other than like a very positive light, because it was started by Hank, and Hank is my friend, and I'm friends with a lot of people that work at VidCon. But if I'm just being honest with how I feel, the event has changed significantly over time, and it's hard to measure how much of the way that VidCon changed is VidCon's own fault versus how much the community changed, how much that they maybe even didn't want themselves. But Hank had this built-in audience of people who watched vloggers. The early VidCons were very heavily nerd fighter community based. And then there were a lot of other creators that, you know, obviously they weren't the Vlogbrothers themselves, but they were sort of like tangentially related to the Vlogbrothers community. That gave the event a certain feel, a certain vibe that VidCon doesn't really have in any way whatsoever anymore. If you were to walk around VidCon and show the attendees a picture of Hank Green, I would guess that less than 25% of them would know who they were looking at. I keep saying that walking around the expo hall of VidCon now reminds me of Nickelodeon. The target demographic of people being advertised to in that expo space is very much the kind of person you would expect Nickelodeon to advertise to. It's like tweens, maybe older teens, but it's just a much younger crowd, which obviously there's a place for. I'm not saying that VidCon is not serving a community or a demographic well, but from our standpoint, should cinema studios spend time and money and resources on advertising to 14-year-old kids who want to see the newest stuff that MTV is putting out?
I mean, if we were producing like a Twilight series or something, some sort of like content that is geared towards that demographic, then yeah, I would say so. But we are not that
Yeah.
in any way. So, you know, I kind of want to touch on something you said earlier about like you kind of gave a bunch of reasons as to why VidCon could have changed. And I think the big chunk of it was just adapting to the changing landscape of YouTube. So it just
VidCons to feel the way they did doesn't even really the same way anymore. At the beginning of YouTube, it was kind of like everybody just saw themselves YouTubers, and there wasn't as much of this stratification of fans and creators. Everybody who made stuff on YouTube was just also fans of the other people that made stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then as money and fame got involved, then the very successful creators, you know, obviously float to the top, and then there's people down below. The people on top start thinking differently about themselves and the fans. So I think because everything kind of shifted toward the way that we think about old school media and celebrities, that kind of VidCon environment can't happen anymore. It's just not possible.
there's not going to be a gathering like, you know, 789 or 888 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Now it's a security risk.
Are you just doing it as you have always been going to VidCon? Am I just going to VidCon because I've always been going to VidCon? Is that what you're asking? I guess so. We were saying, I think we had a meeting about this on Thursday. This year, VidCon invited me as an invited guest, meaning that if I got myself to the event, I would have an all access badge. So if I get invited next year, I will go. I don't think we're planning to do a booth at this point, but I will go and just try to network as much as possible. To a degree, yes, but did you just do the booth? The booth was all I did this year.
You did that thing with Lego.
That's true. I did a thing with Lego. I wonder if that's online somewhere. But I think the plan right now is to treat VidCon like a networking opportunity more than a selling our business opportunity.
Yeah, every VidCon except for one, I was in the expo hall working on something or other.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I feel like if there was going to be another NerdCon, that would be more up our alley.
I know that I've heard talks about them wanting to do another NerdCon Nerdfighteria, but it wouldn't be for a few years because it would focus on like the 15th anniversary of the Vlogbrothers, and then, you know, if we're all still alive, the 20th anniversary of the Vlogbrothers. That sounds terrifying to talk about.
Yes. I think the only reason we would ever have like a cinema presence at a like a NerdCon or VidCon or something is if we had the series we were trying to push or something, like original content. Oh.
Wow.
You said series, and she thought you said series.
I think that's the only thing like time it would make sense. Coming at it from the angle of services, I don't think it really jives well. So there are the people that like that could use the service or whatever and do walk by and talk to us or whatever, but they're out of state and it's a little bit more complicated. So
Yeah. I think maybe some of this is just because in general, my feeling and outlook on life is a little bit more than it used to be. But I also feel like at the beginning of the whole YouTube thing, we were all very much like, the internet is unambiguously a force for good, and YouTube's gonna change the world. And like, it did, but
not in the way that you're describing.
You know, it didn't. Things didn't turn into a paradise.
Let me tell you, when I first was doing YouTube back in 2006, 2007, it was a thing where if you told people you were doing it, there was two responses. One was, "What is that?" or "Why?" or "Why?" That's weird. That's kind of the response. So when we first started, it was kind of like I don't want to say underdog, but you know, we weren't. It wasn't about celebrity or anything. That was just being creative and putting stuff out there, and just being around other weird people that enjoyed, you know, this weird new platform. And then it kind of slowly changed.
I remember Mike Lee talking about going up to Toronto for 888 or something.
He and I road tripped up.
And trying to explain to the border guard at the Canadian border that they were going to go to a thing where they were meeting people from the internet.
I remember that the border guard asked, "How do we know each other?" And I just said the internet, and the guy gave us a weird look. And he's like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm. Harry Potter started 20 years ago.
Twilight was 15 years ago. It's nuts. It's crazy.
Communication errors.
Hello, Nyla. Why is your name The Ties That Bind?
Nyla.
Mila?
Huh?
Did you say Mila?
No, I said Nyla.
Oh. Oh, Mila.
Oh, Nyla.
Reasons. Well, either we need to find other events that are more in line with us trying to hawk our wares, services, or we need to start a new event.
Add to the list.
And have people come to that.
I say both. You can call it "Who Are You Con," and you just show up and yell, "Who are you?" and then that's it.
Who are you?
That would be playing the entire time on loop in the background. Brilliant idea. $1 million right there.
I will admit that I do really like the name Arondicon just as a thing, but when it comes to creating an event, I'm not super interested in creating an event that is about me. So I wouldn't actually call a thing Arondicon.
I feel like Aronda just kind of flows and you can just like put anything on the end of it and it works.
Put anything on the end of it.
Uh-huh.
How much money would you need to crowdsource to make Arondicon? Well, that would very much depend on what we were doing.
More than they got for TanaCon.
Well, yeah.
500,000 minimum.
We'd have to make sure that we had a ball pit.
Just the one that stands off
Yeah.
alone and just deflated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ew. Ew.
What are you doing?
Pee on my scab.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Okay, then.
Okay. Probably shouldn't have done that.
Who's in Amsterdam? Oh, Vanya's in Amsterdam. Well, you can abbreviate Amsterdam as Adam.
Interesting.
Cinecon.
Ooh.
So sinful.
Ooh. Welcome to Cinecon.
Cinecon.
It should be held in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to find a way to have an event where people come to Missoula, preferably in the spring or summer.
Spring.
Late
spring.
But got to make it worth their time.
Mm-hmm.
I've missed watching Michael eat sandwiches.
I'm watching him eat a taco right now.
Paula's looking for a new job. What kind of job are you looking for?
Can you animate?
VidCon London. Yeah, see, my interest level in going to these things is just so diminished because historically I would have gone to a VidCon to like hang out with and see all of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because the event was constructed around friends.
Yeah.
This group of creators that were friends with each other.
So this year, this is the first year I did it, but every year they have a group photo of everyone that's been to every VidCon. So I, for whatever reason, that was never in it. This was my first year, and being there, I saw a bunch of people I haven't seen in like 8 years, 10 years, whatever. I forgot existed.
Well, for sure, if you have been to every VidCon. Is it just like
an honor system, I guess? Like, so for me, technically, I was not at the VidCon. I didn't attend it. I was there, but I did not like have a badge and not attend.
So there's this girl named Michelle Flippin.
That's a good name.
Show flipping.
And she's been in at least one vlog before where she and I played air hockey at VidCon. But she's always come to VidCon to see me and check out the booth and whatnot. And this year, at VidCon, they had this, apparently the world's largest inflatable obstacle course.
Oh.
So I had gone through it and I came out the other side, and I saw Michelle there, and she was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that this is going to be my last VidCon because it's just not really fun anymore, and I really only came to see you, so I have seen you now, and I'm not coming next year, so bye forever," basically.
Oh.
So we're not the only ones that feel it.
I mean, I don't really feel any emotions about it. I'm more just indifferent, I guess.
I just mean that we're not the only ones that feel that it's changed.
Oh, okay. Is this the one every year you would go do it? Like,
she challenged me to an air hockey
That's what
game
it was.
like years ago, and then it was a tradition where every year we would find the air hockey table, but I don't think they even have the air hockey table anymore at VidCon.
They had the hell course.
They did have the hell course.
Mm-hmm.
Just to a meetup some other time of the year, some other place for aeronauts that want to, maybe in a Disneyland. Who's the girl who cries? I haven't seen her in a long time. My guess is that she, at whatever age in life she is now, probably feels very cringy about the large crying scene that happened when she saw me.
Disneyland is expensive. They're only going to get more expensive.
We need to get ourselves a tour bus. Just go on tour.
I mean, yeah.
Just do a road trip every year to certain cities in the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much does a tour bus?
Oh, I can already tell you.
God knows.
It's like $4,000 above. It's on the low end.
It's only $1,300 per day.
Oh, to rent. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it depends on how many miles you go per day. So 300 to 500 miles per day is about $1,300. If you're going 500 to 600 miles per day, it's a little bit more.
So this is where you don't get that. You get like a converter bus or something, like a school bus, something with character.
Something with character.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking of a meetup where also non-Americans would want to spend money on, so linking it with some other activities seems smart to me, but maybe not. Get a cheap used school bus, renovate it, and make it into a traveling camper.
So they have down the street from me, next to Chipotle, in a school right there. They have school buses there, old ones that they cycle out, and there's one like there for like $2,000 right now. You'll probably negotiate down even.
I would be afraid of, for $2,000, how much life does that engine have left?
So when I looked at it, it had 100,000 miles on it, which is pretty good. before that. It was like 10 years old or something.
Going state to state, chasing the New Year's.
Oh man, that'd be so stressful.
In 2009, Stefan and I did a roughly 48-hour road trip from the west coast of the United States to the east coast of the United States. We were basically just one person would drive while the other person slept, and then we just kept switching off the whole way. We didn't stop.
This was in the
Ford Fiesta with no cruise control.
Oh no! I'm more concerned about like just the size. Like very uncomfortable. I feel like
it was definitely more uncomfortable than the Jeep is. But given that it takes 30 hours for the whole globe to go into the new year, you wouldn't be able to keep up with the states going in. You can't even really do that in an airplane. Judging by the Aeronaut map and the active community members, it seems like there's a sizable percentage of European Middle Eastern Aeronauts. Someday we'll do something. Someday. Something.
Yeah.
For years, a decade at this point, it seems, I've wanted to put together a 50-state road trip that is based around the idea of discovering what it means to be American. Because even back in 2008, I had this feeling of, I see what it is, I see what my grandparents think it means to be patriotic, but the ways in which they are patriotic felt weird to me. And especially in the modern political climate, there's a lot of it's just really easy to feel pessimistic about the future of the United States, and it's easy to feel like there's not much to be proud of in being American. And my belief is that those things that would make me proud to be American are there. I just need to go find them. I need to go find people of all walks of life from all 50 states and have conversations with them in which I listen. And I don't think the things that would make me proud to be American in that way are things that make Americans better than other countries. I think in the same way that someone from the Netherlands can be proud to be from the Netherlands because of the people that live in the Netherlands, and someone who is from Canada can be proud to be Canadian because of the people who live in Canada. I think there are very personal stories here that can be unearthed that would make me proud to be from the same country. So for 10 years, it's just been this thing floating around in the back of my mind, like, oh, we'll do this road trip. We'll make a big documentary thing out of it, or it'll be a web series or something. But it's never floated the top of the to-do list.
Like you and I have talked about this before, because I was doing a similar-ish thing. I was more traveling around and like discovering the subcultures in the U.S. But you know, like a year or so ago, we were out looking at Pokemon when it came up again, and we just kind of like started throwing ideas around. And I remember feeling very inspired and wanting to just like make it happen within the next year. But then
the main problem that I keep running into that is not money related, because obviously something like this needs a lot of money. To really get to know a place requires time to be spent there. So to me, at least, it feels like the first week that you are in a place, that's just the time that it takes to like kind of get settled in and start understanding where you are, what the culture's like, or what the people are like. I lived in Paris for 2 months and still felt like I only scratched the surface there. So let's say you want to spend at minimum a week in every state. That's a year-long project. And a week is still not very much time to try to delve into what makes this state interesting and unique.
I'm wondering if, like, with the state that the United States is in with Trump and everything happening, I feel like it's a really good time to maybe try and pitch an idea to someone, because I feel like somebody out there would be willing to give money to someone to go around and document or like talk to people about what they feel is American to them, / like what their feelings are about the state of America right now. I feel like somebody, especially right now, would be willing to give money to have that be a thing. I don't know who that is, but I feel like it would even be.
I mean, it's something that could be like an Indiegogo type of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Like I could see it being a Netflix documentary. Not that Netflix, I'm saying, would pick it up, but just like.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
In 2011, I was still ruminating on this idea, and at that point it turned into a thing where it was going to be Charlie McDonnell, Alex Day, and myself traveling around the United States. The premise being that it was the American taking non-Americans on a journey to discover what it is to be American. And at that time, in trying to work out a schedule for the whole event, we wanted VidCon to be like the finish line of the whole thing, and have some kind of big celebration at VidCon of having completed this journey. But VidCon's different now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being like, hey, so like, can I just drive our tour bus into the expo hall? And it'll be like, you know, we're back, we arrived, we finished the thing.
Nope.
Viacom would not care.
Nope.
Was this the first VidCon that Charlie did not go to?
I think so.
For me, it doesn't feel like VidCon anymore if Charlie McDonald is not there.
Yeah. Gavi says, a month in Missoula was eye-opening to me. In what way? I'm curious.
Huh.
How much cheaper could we make a trip if we didn't have a tour bus?
So, a lot. But that's one of the reasons I bought an RV. Because trying to find
I mean, like,
a
what,
vehicle.
honestly,
or
what would be the difference of like renting some kind of RV from renting it?
Ideally,
I mean,
get sponsored.
what I would really enjoy doing is basically what Sarah and Patrick did. Get a van, convert it so that people can sleep in it. Do your best to find community members willing to give you a couch here and there. But it's just like half camping, half road trip the whole way. I don't know how uncomfortable I would find it by the end, but
Yeah.
Yeah. They have the little small school buses that are they converted to like tour vans. That would be, I think, more comfortable.
Like a mini bus or like a short bus.
Mm-hmm.
oh wow, such gymnastics.
Huh?
Michael Morgan has this friend who's doing a 50-state tour right now. It reminds me of that thing that Simon Majumdar did. He's one of the occasional judges on, is it Cutthroat Kitchen? I don't remember. One of those shows. But he was traveling around, and I got a tweet from some random person being like, hey, Simon's in your city and wants a place to stay tonight in exchange for cooking dinner. So I tweeted it, Simon Majumdar. I was like, hey, if you want, you can stay at my place. So he came to the apartment and cooked food.
Oh, wow. No,
and then it was he and his wife.
When was this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all a blur.
Wow.
2015, maybe?
Before I was out here.
Yes. Carnzer says, also Iron Chef, yes. Anyway, that's what this Les Mobile Feast thing reminds me of. Michael, you should pitch your classmate guy on us making him a better website.
Oh, no.
It's not like horrible, but it's it could be better.
Looks like a WordPress.
I think I just discovered a bug in the design.
What's that?
So for me, if I resize the window that it's in so that it's smaller, it changes to thinking that it needs to be in mobile mode. So it pops up a little menu thing in the upper right corner. Does it do that for you?
Yep.
So then if you click on that menu thing, it pops down the blue thing that says home stories, whatever. If you leave that open and then resize the window again so that it doesn't need to be in the mobile thing, then I lose the ability to scroll on the website at all. I can't go down.
No, that's not. That is not a problem for me. Using Chrome?
Yes.
Mm.
I then have to make the window smaller again so that the menu pops up, close the menu, and then I can go back to the desktop version and scroll through it.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
They should pay me to be
A bug finder?
yeah, bug finder.
Yeah, so there's a WordPress. Yeah, cool.
Hi, I'm Bug Finder Jones.
I'll find your bugs. It's the name for an app. We make Bug Finder. There you go. Another $1 million right there.
Stefan did live with me when that happened, when Simon stopped by. Every once in a while, Simon still likes a tweet from me here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Vanya says that, I find one bug and then I'm like, I'm a bug finder, but by definition, that's true. I am a bug finder.
Yeah.
I can't access the education skills page on the Cinema Studios website. Uh-oh.
What page? Okay.
Oh, this reminds me that I want to change how the skills thing is displayed.
Where is this?
If you go to About Us,
Okay.
and then click on someone's View Bio thing,
Mm-hmm.
there's Bio, Education,
Oh.
and Skills. I
Yeah.
assume that's what we're talking about?
Yes.
But I don't like that in the skills section there are percentages and what appears to be like incomplete progress bars.
Doesn't even show up for me.
What happens if you click on skills?
I mean, nothing happens.
Does anything happen if you click on education?
No.
Interesting.
Let me try to do this in Safari.
What browser was that?
That was Chrome.
Interesting.
Yeah, it does not do it on here either. Okay, just for you. How is that percentage? Where's the data for that? Like that determines.
It was just what it's supposed to be representative of, like how strong each of these people feels in skill.
Okay. Yours is the only one it works for.
Oh, you're right. Even on my thing, everyone else's doesn't do anything. Interesting. We will have to fix that. Thanks for the bug finding.
You're a bug finder now.
Is there a bird in Woodhouse? There's an open window and some birds outside.
A sleeping kitty.
Tom Robertson, bug finder extraordinaire.
That's a good name, Tom Robertson. It's a hearty name. I like it.
It's kind of like your first two names.
I mean,
like your first and middle name.
No, yeah, Tom. Oh, yeah. I guess so.
I guess so. Hello, Julie.
Julie.
I think, was it from Julie? I saw a new intro pop into the Dropbox recently. I think it was from Julie. Someone's driving away. Our next door neighbors moved to Hawaii.
So they're gone.
They're gone.
Huh. Bye-bye. I knew them. I liked them a lot.
Yeah, I only really got to know them in the last couple weeks before they left, and I'm
Bummed.
a little bit sad because
They're solid names.
they were rambunctious college kids next door, and I'm gonna have to be like, "Get off my lawn."
Would you actually? If they were like continually just kind of over the property line and like not really destroying anything, but just there a lot.
I don't know. Depends. Someone asked what your middle name is, and Ninja Nerd said Lee.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Todd Lee Williams.
Lee. Yeah. Yeah, the chat hasn't even loaded that for me yet.
How's the vlogs going? Well, surprise, surprise, VidCon threw us off. I get frustrated thinking about. We've tried a handful of different things whenever there's some kind of event happening and we know that we don't want the vlogs to get backed up. Like whatever workflows we put in place, whatever planning we do to make it so that the vlogs don't get backed up. So far, they've not been successful. And I'm not quite sure what the answer is. But if we're not going back to VidCon, then we ain't got to worry about it. What are you doing back there?
Trying to get up.
Under your new username, you have become someone? I don't understand what that means. What's going on in Missoula these days? Well, let me just slouch down. I'm trying to think what's the haps in Missoula. They just opened up part of a bike trail that connects Missoula to Hamilton, which is quite a long ways away. So if you really want a really long bike ride, it's probably very pretty. You can bike between Missoula and Hamilton nonstop now.
It would be nice.
I think it's flat most of the way, right? No, like major incline.
Generally, yeah.
I think maybe on the way back.
Yeah.
So that sounds ideal.
Construction continues on the new hotel where the Merck building was.
Yeah. It's coming along.
There are a ton of apartments going up on the west side of town. Just like a lot. This area is going to be more congested than it was.
I'm curious to see if that field up on that stretch of road to get here if that's going to be turned into houses or if it's going to be more apartments. I feel like that would be weird if those if there are apartments there.
I don't know. If they keep expanding to the west, at some point they'll have to add like commercial centers instead of just residential stuff. Green Apple was surprised to hear no VidCon. Yeah, at the beginning we talked about how VidCon has changed and doesn't really make sense for cinema to go to VidCon anymore. If VidCon invites me back as an invited guest, I will go as to treat it like a networking opportunity. But at this point, we're not planning on having a large presence there. Found anyone to live in the little cubby hole in Woodhouse yet? Nope. When was the last time you were in there?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I still want to like put some nice lights and stuff in it, and
Put some
just
trains up in there.
make it sweet, and then I'd hang out in there more. But there's just right now it's just a hole, so maybe I'll build something to like put some sweet stuff.
Oh yeah,
in
we
there.
could put the Cinnaminion in there.
No.
Yeah, what Rebby's saying is there's a kind of long road that goes up to the neighborhood where Woodhouse is, but it just kind of stops at the neighborhood that we live in, and around a big chunk of stuff to get to it. There's not a direct route, so that would be nice. But
they don't put a light. I mean, they would have to put a light there.
Probably, it feels like it already needs a light sometimes in the morning.
Yes.
But if they connect that road, that just means that there's going to be way more traffic going by my neighborhood, which is not ideal. But you can't stop the wheels of progress. Oh, even Gavi thinks it definitely needs a light already. Rebby, when are you going to become an American citizen so that we can legally hire you? I mean, I guess there's legal ways to hire you now. It's just expensive. That area at night in the winter is freaking scary. For people who haven't been to Missoula before, driving at night, even not in the winter, can be
It's not a lot of lights.
bad because, well, I guess I don't have a super wide knowledge on this, but the other places that I've lived in my life were not as snowy as Missoula. So they could afford to put a lot of reflectors down in the street and use reflective paint for the lane lines, but they don't do that in Missoula. I expect because basically every year they have to tear up the roads and put them back down again because of all the wear and tear from the snow. But as a result, at night, it's hard to see where the lanes are.
Yeah.
I'm used to it at this point, so I don't really notice. But when people come visit, they're like, "I can't see the lines," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing."
The stretch from here to like, I guess maybe like where the movie theater is, there aren't really any lights, and so it's
yeah. Carencer says that is part of the reason I would never want to drive up. But the drive up is so nice.
not that bad. It's not that bad.
No lanes, no light, all snow, no. Just follow the tire tracks from the people in front of you. Ugh. I need to put gutters on my house. That is my project for this weekend. I started to try to figure that out yesterday, but I discovered that I need to get a ladder that is taller than the ladder that I have.
You can just stand on my shoulders, dude. That works, right?
That sounds safe.
Sure does.
There's that bird again. He's much closer this time. I don't have gutters, and it's causing erosion problems in the backyard, so I need to put gutters on the house. Anyway, as the bird is saying, thanks for hanging out for this July 2018 Patreon live stream. I feel a little bit more lethargic than I would usually like to be for these streams, but I still hope that you found this enjoyable. Charlie, do we happen to know the date of our next live stream? Hey, hey, hey,
Bert, shut up.
hey, hey,
Shut up, Bert.
hey. Charlie says 1 sec.
No momento. Por favor. Por favor. Por favor.
Am I never going to any VidCon again? If VidCon paid for my flight to go somewhere, I would go. Both Kyle and Charlie at the same time say August 25th.
Boom.
So that's the next time that we will hang out. I will do my best to be a little more entertaining.
Maybe we'll play some Twister or something.
Twister?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Thank you, everybody. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.